Welcome to It's All Fine and Danjee, where we talk about community, health, culture, and all of the big and little things that make life good. Here are your hosts, Dan and Angie.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Can you make the turkey noise?
Did I do it?
There was a thing online where a bunch of newscasters, they had clips of them doing it all over the country, and it's hilarious.
Were they competing or something?
No, they were just. It's like a part of the broadcast now, and I was trying.
It's funny.
I think it's kind of like this.
It's like, have you ever seen those contests that they do with the pig calls?
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that.
They're really annoying. I'm just going to say.
I had to ask, though. After seeing that, I had to ask.
Anyway, guys, welcome to our Thanksgiving episode. This is airing on Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving, and we are on episode 36.
That's right, episode 36.
That's right, and we are celebrating the holiday week with some wine while we are coming to you not live.
No, but I just left the office, and now we are officially on Thanksgiving break.
That's right. So we have a little wine, cling,
all right,
and a little charcuterie board. Do I say that right? Charcuterie?
I am from Apopka. I thought it was called a cheese and cracker board.
Charcuterie. Anyway, you can get real fancy with charcuterie boards. This one's a little more simple. Yeah, so it basically is a cheese and cracker. Anyway, so I had a busy weekend. I felt like I was nonstop last weekend. On Saturday, we had an interview at Wekiva Island, and that interview is coming up next. So you guys make sure you stick around because it's an awesome interview. And I have been in the kitchen a lot, working on some new recipes for a new client and just for us in general.
And I have been reaping the benefits of that by being able to eat them.
You've been my taste tester. Yes. Yeah. So I'm working on some baking stuff, and I don't do a lot of baking nowadays, but I want to try to make some goodies for someone who can't have certain flours in their life. So we are doing some experimentation.
Yeah. And so I've been able to try like the cookies and whatnot.
Muffins and some pancakes I'm going to try to make tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Those spicy deviled eggs. So we're going to talk all about food for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, of course. What else would you talk about?
Right.
And on Sunday, I ended up going, your back was hurting a little, well, not a little bit, but a lot of it. So I went to the Bags of Hope event on Sunday, and that was the Thanksgiving event, and it was awesome. There was over 200 people.
I know. I wish I could have gone, but I'm glad you went.
And there were so many volunteers there this time. I was just like, oh my gosh. There was volunteers that I thought were just visitors because they just had regular t-shirts and stuff on. So I was like talking to people, and they're like, oh, I'm here volunteering. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So it was a lot of volunteers, and it was really nice.
That is so awesome.
They did some giveaways, like baskets full of just goodies for Thanksgiving, and they raffled them off, and some Publix gift cards, and it was really nice. So we are excited for the Christmas event that they are doing. Because, we love to help charities out, and especially when you've been to one and really see the hard work that goes into it,
right,
and really what they're doing for the community, and especially that it's local, which I love. They are doing their Christmas event on December 22nd.
Yep.
And my whole family, we are all getting together December 15th. And one of the things that Rhonda and Mark are doing for that event is trying to give all the kids and teenagers new PJs for the holidays.
Love it.
So our whole family is purchasing PJs in whatever their size is for their kid. The kids are picking out what they want in their size,
right,
along with slippers or socks, and we're going to donate that. So
I love it.
We're excited for that. And then we're probably going to put some little baskets and stuff together as well. So.
I definitely will be there for part of that. And
yes.
I hate to sound like I was making an excuse, but the travel that I did to and from Vegas, especially doing the red eye dragging my bags around, not to be whining, but I have lots of lower back damage, and it was really, really bad this past week.
So all of you who sit at a sit-down job, you can hurt your back just as much as a labor job. So
yes,
take care
indeed.
of your back.
I have two
herniated. Start it now.
Indeed. I have 2 herniated discs, 2 bulging discs, and 2 tears in my lower back. And people say, oh, did you get in a car accident? No, that's just years of sitting.
Yeah.
And maybe lifting things wrong.
Well, yeah, but sitting actually can change the natural shape of your back.
It has. It has for me. I go to, as you know, I go to Revival Chiropractic. So quick plug for Revival Chiropractic, Dr. Christina and Dr. Brittany. But I do go every week. And the shape of my spine has changed because of my sitting.
Yeah.
And, it's funny. When I was traveling through Vegas, one of the younger gentlemen that is also traveling with us was complaining about his back. And I thought, as young as you are, he's in his early 30s, you probably have time to save it still. So it's very important for people to remember. I always thought with my dad, it was his years of hard labor, which it probably was, but you can do it from that. You can do it from sitting. You really got to have sort of a blend.
Yeah.
I think.
You have to have, the right amount. It's all about balance.
Yeah.
So we have to get up and move during the day. You got to give yourself those breaks.
Forever in health.
Forever in health.
Right.
Please, people, stay forever in health.
All right. So I interrupted you, though.
You did interrupt me because I have some very exciting news.
What is your big exciting news?
So my oldest son, I want to make sure everybody knows it's my oldest son. I think I announced sometime back that he was engaged.
You did.
And he just texted me the other night, and I was kind of sidelined a little bit, but he said, "Congratulations, Danjee and Dampa." And that means I'm going to be a grandma.
I love it. I love it.
And he said Dampa, which is so funny because, we were talking one night and we came up with our grandparent names.
I have to give credit where credit is due. My son Jacob said,
he did.
We have to call you Danpa.
That is amazing.
I love it. And Danjee is so perfect.
I know. So we are going to be grandparents.
Yes. Woohoo. I can get Disney passes again.
That is the first thing Dan said. I'm like, do not even start yet. The baby's not even born.
My kids are bored of Disney, and I'm dying to go without being the weird guy that's at Disney.
You got a couple years, babe.
Okay. Well, we could ask our friends, Jennifer and Matthew, what the age is to start bringing kids to Disney. I think it's like 6 months.
I'm sure they started I think it started in the womb with them.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Right, Jennifer Court? Jennifer's going to be on the show in January, actually.
I know. Anyway, that's such exciting news. I'm so happy for you, for them, and for us.
I am excited, actually. I'm at peace with it. I didn't want to be a grandma for a long time. I'm like, I could still
You're not going to be a grandma.
Have children. There's women having children starting in their 40s.
Sure.
But it's okay. I'm not going to be a grandma. I'm going to be a Danjee.
That's right. And maybe it's a man and woman thing. Maybe it's an individual thing. But for me, my first inclination, and I know this isn't by blood, but even if it was, my first inclination to be like, besides, oh my God, are my kids too young? But for me personally, hearing that you're going to be a grandpa, I'm like, woo, totally excited and pumped. So it's a different thing for me. I don't know why. The aspect of spoiling a kid, but being able to bring them home when they're being bratty and just being like the source of fun without having to do any of the discipline stuff. That sounds like the greatest thing ever.
It really does,
so
doesn't
I'm
it?
excited for that.
So congratulations, Austin and Taylor.
Very much, guys. Yes, indeed. And real quick, back to the trip I did. I was in Vegas all last week for Autodesk University. There was over 11,000 people there this year. It's a huge technology event. And as I mentioned before I left, this event happens every year. Autodesk makes, if you're not in the nerd tech world like I am, they make all the applications that are used for like building, construction, design, but they also make all the applications that are used for CGI, computer generated graphics in movies like The Avengers and all the movies that you've seen. They do it all. So part of the big keynote, which is the big speech on one of the days, is, the CEO of Autodesk gets on stage, talks about what they're doing, but they sometimes have like game footage on there or movie footage, and sometimes it's construction stuff. So there's a huge array of people there from different corners of the world, and they do come from all over the world. But it was fun. It was a full week of meetings and, such. And then I don't know what makes me think I'm still young enough to do this, but I took the red eye back on Thursday night. So I left at like 11 p.m. Vegas time, which is like 2 a.m. here. So I was already exhausted. I couldn't sleep on the plane because I never can. And
I don't think anybody's young enough I don't think it's good for anybody.
You know what, though? Some people can sleep so well on a plane that it's actually a good thing. And it used to be, when I was younger, I could kind of doze off a bit. So I get enough rest on the way home to where I would get home Friday morning and I could still kind of work and function. I didn't really lose the day.
Yeah.
But I've kind of gotten to the point now to where, when there was a delay with baggage, and by the time I got home, it was like 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't really go to sleep. So I was kind of wasted the whole day.
Yeah.
So I think next year I will just stay another night and fly home Friday morning.
Yeah, I think that would be the best.
I think so too. But anyway.
Because really your whole weekend gets wasted
It really
because you're
did.
trying to play catch up.
I still don't feel 100% up in the time zone. So that's how it gets. Anyway, it was a really good time though. And a couple silly things I thought about. We went ahead and got our Christmas tree.
Yes.
Because Rachel's going to be away this weekend and she really wanted to do it. So now we're those people that get their Christmas tree before Thanksgiving, which I love because I love Christmas and it just makes it last longer.
Rachel's away for Thanksgiving with her friend.
That's right.
To Georgia, right?
That's indeed, she is.
Yep.
So the kids are away. We've got our Christmas tree up. It's very exciting. We're ready for Christmas. We got decorations to put up after Thanksgiving still, but I'm excited.
We'll probably work on that this weekend.
Probably. I'm excited to be getting into the Christmas spirit. And for the first time ever, we are such dorks that we're going to dress up for Christmas.
We are.
We are dressed. We have costumes
for Christmas. Well, we've dressed up for like our family events we've gone to. Like we wore you wear like the tie and I'll wear like the elf outfit or something. But
we're dressing up as characters for Christmas.
We are, and I found my skirt today and I'm so excited.
I am excited too.
Do we get to tell everybody what we're dressing up as?
We totally can. And by the way, you nailed it with the skirt.
Oh my gosh.
That is spot on.
And I got it on clearance. Hello, because we know Angie likes a bargain.
Indeed. I have got medium deals. I got them off of Amazon. But anyway, you want to tell everybody what we're going to be? You want to tell them?
You tell them. It's your favorite
You
movie.
want me to tell them? So we're going to go as Clark and Ellen Griswold from the Vacation movies.
Yeah, when they're dressed up in their Christmas attire.
Yeah, and we cannot wait because I have sort of made us watch that movie. My kids have been watching it since they were little. That's like the standard Christmas movie. It is my favorite Christmas movie of all time. Chevy Chase is hilarious. I don't care what anyone says. And so I'm excited to.
So next year, what are we going as? What's my favorite movie?
The Grinch? What would I be? The dog?
No, we'd be the what are they called?
The Grinch and Cindy Lou Who, or
be Cindy Lou or the parents of Cindy Lou Who.
Oh, the Who's down in Whoville.
The Who's. We could be Who's.
That would be a good one, actually. I think being the Grinch would be good, though.
Yeah. Now, this is going to reminding everybody, this is the Christmas party that we're going dressed up like this. So we're not buying a fancy dress and a suit to go to the Christmas party. We are actually dressing up like this. I love it.
We are. I love it too. We're just going to go like.
Oh, and what else are you bringing? You're even bringing a prop.
I'm going to have the squirrel on my back.
And 2 things.
And it's going to be really hard for me not to do lines the whole time because I know every single line of that movie so well. In fact,
no, that'll be wonderful. You have to do that.
The big tirade he goes on where he ends with holy blank, hallelujah, pass a Tylenol. I have to do that somewhere.
No, you're taking your moose cup that I got you.
Oh, I am.
Who got you that? Jacob?
I don't remember which one of you got me that, but that is a Wally World cup that I will be.
It was Jacob, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
It sounds like something he would pick out.
Yeah.
So we're very excited. And the very last thing I wanted to mention was we're back into The Walking Dead. They just did their mid-season premiere. I talk about this show sometimes. I have a love-hate relationship with this show. I feel like it could be so good. And the last sort of mid-season finale was so frustrating. And so, I hate to poo-poo on other art. I really do. It's like there's a toxic fan culture in the world lately, and I don't want to contribute to it. But as a fan, and I'm still a fan, and we can all talk like fans, the recipe for that show, I swear, when the plot starts slowing down, they just go, okay, let's take a long time, fully established character and have them doing something that is completely out of their character that makes no sense so that we can drive the plot forward. It's just, it's ridiculous. And you get yourself like yelling at the TV like, They would never do that.
But I can spin this positive.
Spin it. And by the way, Carlos Navarro, who is I would say a friend of mine. I don't see him in person ever really, but I met him many years ago at the radio station at JRR. We're still Facebook friends. And I know one time he got on to me for sort of poo-poo in the show, and I get it. He was a cast on the show, and Carlos is great. If you don't know about Carlos, he has been on The Walking Dead. He's been on Kimmy Schmidt. He was in Identity Thief. He's an actor that's been in tons of stuff. He's hilarious. He's got his own podcast called To the Top. Actually, we'll put a link in the show notes to it.
Yeah, that's great.
Really good guy. But he,
him and his wife have a very good synergy together.
They really do. It's great, and he's great, and I love everything he posts. Super positive guy, and maybe that's why he was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" But
that's a true fan, though. I
is.
think a true fan still sticks in there, but they're willing to critique the show, and fans are willing to know when they're not happy with the way something went. But they still stick in there. They don't just drop off.
Right, and it's not like
it's like a diehard football fan.
I guess that's a good point.
You're always going to be a Dallas Cowboys fan, even when they're being ridiculous and not doing what they can do.
That's a good way. That's a good point. That's a good way to put it. So I don't want to come off negative, but it was so frustrating. And sometimes that show is so good.
Yeah.
And I will admit that lately it's not as good as it used to be for me. But
you didn't let me spin my positive.
I'm going to watch it till the very end regardless. But go ahead, you spin. I'm sorry.
This is something that you do with your daughter every week.
It is. And it has been since she was little.
Too little to watch it.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe so.
Hey, every parent has to use their discretion with
That's
stuff
true.
like that.
It's been our bonding moment.
And you guys watch that every week.
We do.
That is your show together.
Yep.
And I'm back into it a little bit, but I fell off first. See, I'm not a true fan, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm not a true fan because if I'm bored of you, I'm stepping out. It's going to happen.
Every single episode of this show we have watched. And honestly, when it's over, Rachel wants to watch Fear the Walking Dead from the beginning. So
okay. So you guys will have
that. Should be good.
But that is it, guys, for this and that. But please stay tuned because we have our community call out coming and we have an awesome interview with a great duo. Hey guys, welcome back to the Community Call Out. And today's guests are the acoustic duo Atlantic Alibi, featuring Miss Katie Dutton and Dan Myers. And we got to enjoy your music firsthand at Wekiva Island, where we're at today, back in July. And we were actually very amazed at the talent that was up on the stage.
Thank you.
Indeed.
And I must say I had goosebumps all over from a few songs. But they're joining us today, and you guys are going to play again tonight here at Wekiva Island. So thank you so much for sitting down with us before the show, guys.
Thank you
for having us.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Thank
you so much.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourselves, maybe where you're from, a little bit of your background personally. Who goes first?
I guess I'll start. I'm Katie Dutton, and I am originally from Jacksonville, Florida. And I live there currently as well, but I moved away just for a few years to go to college. So I went to the University of Florida for undergrad. And then I lived here in Orlando for a few years as I did graduate school at UCF. So I'm a speech and language pathologist by day, singer at night.
Wow.
I like to say.
Those go together.
It kind of does, though.
It does actually go together. I started off as a vocal performance major at UF, and I went to art schools my whole life. I just wasn't sure how to make a career out of that with that degree. So speech and language pathology is a pretty good, career to go into.
Pays the bills, right?
And I get to sing on the side and still have this as my little side hustle.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this is really fun for me. So I'm down here. My parents live here. So this is very convenient for me to come and visit. And I love Bill and Mary. So we're really happy to be back here for this weekend.
And the parents are probably happy that
of course.
Get to come down here
Always.
more often.
Well, they
right?
drive up to Jacksonville almost every time we have a gig in Jacksonville. They're quite dedicated people.
They're your little groupies. Huh?
They really are.
That's
they really
awesome.
I love it.
So I've been in, I guess, North Florida for most of my life. Born up in the North, but moved down here in the 70s. And I would say most of my life I've spent in Jacksonville. And actually, as we were talking earlier, here in Altamont Springs, I went to Lake Brantley for a few years and played in a local garage band called Stonehenge. And remember...
Oh, nice. Good band name, too.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
it was
very good
great.
band
One of
name.
my good friends down here, Chris, is still... we're still in touch, and they've been out here at the island with us.
Cool.
But yeah, we played St. Mary Magdalene Church in their performance hall back in the 70s, and it was fantastic.
Wow.
And what kind of music did you play?
Just classic rock.
In the church?
Just Skinner.
I was going to ask, what kind of music were they letting you play in there?
No, right?
It was really fun. It got some great pictures out of it, too. And I think I still have a recording from it, but it's fantastic.
That'd be priceless.
Stained glass windows with hard rock.
No doubt.
No, it's great. But I went to the University of Florida. I started actually as a voice major and then transitioned
I
over
didn't even know that.
Yes.
Look at this.
Yes.
Revelation.
I was on scholarship at Jacksonville University.
No idea.
Wow, look at this. It's a revealing.
Bringing things out.
I really did not know. How did I not know that?
I don't know. I don't know. But moved over to public relations and then got out into the pharmaceutical industry. And so that's what I'm doing right now.
All right.
So I work with the health plans and the payers
He's
for my
killing
company.
it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, but loving the music and especially this opportunity to connect with Katie, something that we've talked about for years. I've moved around recently up in the Atlanta area, and she always said, when you ever move back to Florida, we need to get together and
Yeah, so
do
a little bit,
something.
I guess, backstory on how we even started this little duo.
We were going to ask you that.
Yeah,
That was
that's
our
the next question.
Okay.
Just going right into that. So really old family friends. In fact, he and his wife Donna went to high school with my mom and my uncle. So Donna and my mom were very good friends in high school. And, you know, of course, the years you do your own thing for a while. And then I went to high school at Douglas Anderson School of the Arts in Jacksonville. And their daughter Caroline went there for sophomore year until she graduated. And it's funny because Donna and my mom Christy were on the phone with each other as a fundraiser people and had no idea because their new last names. They had no idea, you know, because they don't go by their maiden names anymore. They finally met in person. They're like, oh my goodness, you're the person I've been talking to this whole time.
wow.
So they
That's
realized
great.
they had known each other for forever. And then Caroline became instantaneous best friends all through high school. And so he was always in bands in Jacksonville. We would go and watch him just as I was growing up. And his son Chris owned a recording studio in Jacksonville. They were doing really well there. So I kind of started doing cover recordings, I guess, in the
Yeah.
studio. And I just always was like, this would be so much fun to do. And of course, you know, he moved away and then I moved back and I was like, you know, if you ever come back and you're looking for something to do.
Actually, going back further, her uncle Rick and I went to junior high together, and we were in the same guitar class when we started learning to play guitar.
Oh, wow.
This is such a small world.
I know. It's
It really is.
amazing.
So it sounds like the stars aligned then, I guess, when you came back.
Yeah. It's really cool how the families have connected. And
So did you reach
reconnected.
out when you got back to town is the question.
yeah, well, we've always been good
yeah.
friends.
You were connected already, yeah.
But we had this opportunity to perform for a charity in St. Augustine, Florida called Dining with Dignity. And I was asked to play it, and it's an opportunity where local churches come together and they provide the food for the homeless in St. Augustine,
We
Florida.
love stuff like that.
Every single night, the homeless get fed a really nice meal.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so we had an opportunity to set up and just play. I brought a generator, and actually before then, I called Katie. I said, "Hey, we've been trying to do something. Why don't we try this? Let's learn 10 songs. We just had to play an
That's
hour."
what we started with, yeah.
And we did. We brought a generator and set up and played outside. And
A little parking lot.
Yeah.
her parents came up and took some video, and then we used that video to be able to share with local, you know, areas to say, "Hey, do you think we can get a gig with you and play?" And we were able to. Let's see, it was at Puccini's.
Puccini's Pizzeria in Volano Beach.
In Volano Beach. They gave us our first opportunity as
Oh,
our
very
first
nice.
paid gig.
Yeah.
That's
Very
what
nice.
I was going to ask. Like,
Yeah.
what was the first gig?
Yeah.
That was a freebie, which I love.
The freebie,
You were
yeah.
giving of yourself and of your
Exactly.
talent. And then that led to something
That led
else.
to something. In fact, yeah, we'll be playing there this coming up Friday, Black Friday. So that we haven't played there in a little while. So we'll be glad to go back and
Yeah.
And
play for
revisit.
them. We do love them.
Yep.
They're awesome
Very-
people.
They're awesome.
Very nice. So we saw you guys perform, as Angie said, a few months back. time gets away from me. And she knew a lot of the songs that you guys were playing. And I can't remember. I think we just happened to come up here that night. We're almost walking distance from here.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, literally, we could ride our bike, which we should.
Right. And you guys, Atlantic Alibi, were playing. And I'm, because I guess I played for years. I don't know. I'm a little bit not as open-minded with music as Angie is. She knew all the songs already, but I immediately was like, wow, these guys are really good. Then you guys played The Shallows from A Star Is Born, and I was like, I got like chills down my spine. Can you tell us a little bit about, you told us about some of the bands that you've been in and stuff, but as sort of a genre, did you guys already kind of like the same style music, or do you find it more of like a fusion of styles that have come together, or how did you kind of fit that piece of things? Because you guys have merged very well together in the way you sound.
Yeah, I think it's really a neat, blending, because, Katie...
Two generations, first of all.
Yeah, we have
so
two generations. So I'm a classic rocker, and
right.
I think Katie has grown up around classic rock.
Right. So all of that stuff, I pretty much, I know a lot, which is very helpful as far as learning
you probably know the words. And
right.
The beat,
yeah. Because,
or kind of hummed along with some
riding
of them.
in the back of my mom's car growing up, it was always the 80s station was on, always. But also being a musically trained person, you are, exposed to all sorts of genres. So 70s music, 80s, 60s. I mean, I'm big into jazz. I love jazz. I was in a jazz group in high school. So, you're just exposed to different things when you're in that kind of an environment. So, but it was good.
And she brings a fresh new, style of music, some things that I wouldn't necessarily sit down and try and learn, but then we put it together and it's like, wow, this works.
Right. And that's what
great.
Angie was doing, because Angie listens to like, I forget some of the artists that you heard that first night.
I like more pop music. I like music that you can dance to, but I love I do like everything.
But there were specific
Christina
artists.
Aguilera, you did some Christina
we
Aguilera,
did.
and you took your own spin on it.
And
I'm very
I
happy about that.
I try and do that with most of the cover songs that we do, because, like I said, we're trying to build up, our repertoire of songs, but also kind of, eventually we're going to get to the originals, and we'll start doing originals. But for now, I will take the songs that I know and kind of give my own flair to it.
That's cool. That makes, honestly, that's part of what was so cool for me, because I would recognize 3/4 of the way through because she knows the music better. And I'm like, oh, I know the.
Yeah.
I'm
I like how
this
you
is
changed
a Britney
it.
song. Ooh.
This is it?
Yeah.
But
Toxic.
it sounds
Toxic.
different.
Yeah.
And like with the Christina song, I don't remember which one you did, but you didn't try to go for the note that you might have been able to get it. I don't know.
Right.
But she has the really high note, and some people can't get it. And you did it a little lower, which was great.
There are a few artists that either they go so low, or I'm just like, no way. Or they've got those whistle tones that I can't do.
That's what's on. Katie has an amazing range. I mean, she can go very low to low
Absolutely.
alto.
I heard that.
She can hit the top notes too.
It depends on the night.
How strained the voice is, right?
So I'm more of a rock listener and all the heavy stuff, and that's what I liked about it, is the spin that was different. And some of those poppy songs or whatever, I'm not saying it's not good songs and they're not talented. It's not my style. So I like the way you guys did it. I enjoyed every song we heard in there.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have enjoyed the original versions of all those songs. So I loved it.
Well, and we're challenged. Sorry, but it's one guitar, and we're trying to cover for a whole band.
Of course.
So I try to acoustify it.
Yes.
We try to acoustify a full band sound with just my hitting the strings and our harmony.
Yeah.
And that
Well,
can be
I've
challenging
always
sometimes.
appreciated acoustic music too, when they can sing it acoustically instead of with all the background noise. I don't want to call it noise, but the rest of the entertainment.
Yeah, we've been told recently that, people are refreshed when we don't use loopers or electronic beatboxes and things like that, even though sometimes that would sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's a fan.
Sometimes for some things, not everything, but it would be cool to maybe add some of that stuff to maybe just a few songs trickled throughout. But,
Just to fill it in.
But as a whole, we keep it very, natural, raw acoustic music.
You're
you guys
relying on the raw talent, which I love.
Right. And you harmonize really well. So I think
that is something that we do find that our voices do blend really well together, which is awesome. And that's why I think we've been successful as far as being able to book a lot of places, and people really, really have taken to, our sound and things like that. And we love what we do and people seem to like it. I feed off of the energy of people.
Of course.
And that always helps with the performance. So
Yeah.
this is one of the best places that we come to because people get so excited.
Oh, last night was amazing.
It's
Last
so
night
fun.
we had some great energy. I mean, it was super. We're meeting new friends all the time, and it's fantastic.
We would have been here last night if Dan wasn't so jet lagged.
No, that's okay.
I
Just got back from Vegas.
Yeah.
So sometimes bands like to leave the playlist secret so you come and you get surprised by the song. So I don't want to ruin it if you want to do that, but can you tell the people that may be listening right now some of the type of songs or some of the titles they could expect to hear? Maybe a teaser?
We love Fleetwood Mac. So
And you
I
do it
remember
very
hearing
well.
you do Fleetwood Mac. Yes.
yeah.
Very
So,
nice.
and she does an amazing Stevie Nicks. So we like to do Fleetwood Mac.
Very nice.
I'll throw in a few dude songs every once in a
I
while.
saw that you on your website you call them dude
Yeah,
songs.
yeah.
I don't know what
songs,
that
yeah.
is.
What is a dude song?
I don't know, just me singing because
Mustang Sally.
Okay, good
Oh,
one.
I
Piano Man.
Sure.
Piano Man went over splendidly last night.
we
with,
did.
Everyone loves to sing the words.
Yeah, we did Drive by Incubus. That seems to be a favorite.
Oh yeah, I like
Yeah.
that one. Now you're getting more into my kind
Yeah,
of music.
Yeah, obviously, and that's what I like about our group because we have, and that's when I get asked constantly, well, what kind of music do you do? And I cannot pinpoint a genre that we do because we do things jazzy from Nora Jones to, Adele type things to straight country. with,
Yeah.
Lady Gaga.
Fleetwood Mac. We
Heart.
do some
We do
70s stuff,
Heart.
Hearts.
Oh, yeah.
We do
Hearts
rock.
are
Rock. Yeah.
We just did an Evanescence song last night.
Oh,
So
I
we
could
missed
see
that one.
I
very,
could see that.
it's all over the board. So there's really not a genre
Yeah.
that we do, which
Yeah.
is great because we somehow cater to every age group or every, specification people like to hear.
Of music. Yeah.
Right.
But
So
that's
it's not
great
just
when
one
you're in a
type.
crowd because then
Right.
everybody has something that they
Right.
can look forward to, and,
And
they know
that's
they're going to.
that's what I like because I don't want to go to a place and it's just this unless you really like one type of music and then you
Yeah.
know you're going to go see that type of music.
Yeah,
But
if you
you're
guys were playing all country, we would have had to left.
Right.
me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
I mean, I like some songs.
I like some
but-
country, and we do some country, but
Yeah.
because we have to do that just because we're in Florida. People
Sure.
love country
Sure.
music, and
But
we
we do what we like. We do-
yeah, and we also do.
really-
We don't really. We're not like, I like this song, so let's do this song.
Yeah. Do you
Well,
take
Although there's
that's what's cool then, because if you're both kind of like, oh, I do like that song, that's a pretty one. That means you're both quite versatile in terms of what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you take requests whenever you are playing?
Sure.
As
Do
long as you
try.
can do
It's
that?
obviously
Yeah.
it's very helpful when we already know the song.
Yes.
Yeah.
But sometimes we've done some on the fly.
On the fly.
Oh,
That's
really?
We pulled
yes.
some on the fly. Thank goodness for the internet.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we can
My
just
iPad
the chord
and the
progressions
internet,
are
right?
just
You can read the
right there.
music,
Yeah.
I guess. You're
Yeah.
good. So we talked a little bit before we started recording, but I want to talk about it on the air here. Have you guys started or thought about doing any originals? Has that been in discussion? If not, or even if so, have you spent time in a recording studio? Do you have plans to do that kind of thing? And where can people find your music? Is there anywhere we can go to find out more about how to find out when you're playing or what you're playing? But let's start maybe with the originals question.
Yeah, well, we're relatively new together as a project. We started, our first gig was in March. Yeah.
This year, right?
Yeah, March of this
2019.
year. So really, we wanted to just put together a show, right? Some, get our songs that I already knew from previous acoustic, opportunities, things that Katie knew. And so we're in the building of the show stage. We
Right.
always knew we wanted to do some originals.
Yeah.
But finding the time to do that
Sure.
has been difficult.
Yeah.
Of course.
With day
and so-
jobs,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And booked
And
every
so-
weekend, it seems.
I mean, you're building a following anyway, so that's kind of a
Yeah.
good thing to do ahead of an original, really.
And when an original
Right.
comes out, it's going to be
then it'll be
big
great.
blowout. It's
Yeah.
going to be fun. It's like finally we have something that
Yeah.
we're working on.
And
Sure.
it feels
You
like
know?
you're going to have a very supportive community around
Yeah,
you.
we have
so.
we have a lot
I
of
hope so.
good fans that
Yeah.
come and see us pretty consistently in Jacksonville, and which is really fun. But yeah, my dream is absolutely to do an original and to get into the recording studio and have that kind of as a demo and to be able to send that out.
Yeah.
Because we could do covers all day, but really the way we make it into this industry is with original songs.
Sure. Of
course.
And, things, because anyone can sing an a cover song, but it takes something special to,
Well, not anybody.
Well, you know what I mean.
I mean, we can in our shower.
You don't want to hear me do it.
Yeah.
I promise. I'm going to take it back just a minute before we talk about where people can find you, because you guys started to talk about your first gig. Were you nervous? Was it? What was it like?
I was very nervous.
Were you?
In fact,
and you had performed throughout your life,
I
right?
had, but I'd always been a choral singer
with a group.
Yeah, she'd never performed.
I've had I've had solos in my choirs, but no, goodness, when I discovered a non-choral voice, that was exciting because you have your own sound, your own thing. But no, it takes, and they were people who would tell me they were right. They, as in like this weird.
They. We all know who they are.
You know who they are. But they would tell me the more you perform, the less you get nervous. And, my whole dream has been to, audition for maybe The Voice or American Idol. And
oh, wow. Yeah.
That would be really, really an exciting thing for me to do, just to say I've done it.
Yeah, of course.
But I always was like, I would be so nervous if
all eyes on you doing that. Right?
I don't think I could do that.
I feel like you couldn't find your voice.
I know it would just not come out. But the more I have done this, I do not get nervous anymore. Hardly. I mean, I won't say never, but
it's
hardly.
More of a excited nervous, right?
But now it's just like because people
people
used to ask me to sing for them, and I would freeze with fear. It would be paralyzing. And so that's been awesome for me personally to get over that, because I hated getting nervous. But so for our first gig, even though it was for a charity, it wasn't, there wasn't a whole lot of people. Still, you're like, oh goodness, I hope I do well.
You put yourself out there when it's just the two of you.
And there were probably,
that's the first time.
There were probably about 50, 70 people out there too.
But that's
in this big open parking lot.
Good amount of people.
And
people walking by and stuff.
Because St. Augustine's a very, very, very crowded touristy area.
We love it there.
Yeah, I do love it.
Now, were you nervous, Dan? Or you had kind of done this before?
I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, he's very seasoned.
But, I always have, like we were saying, that nervous energy. I want it to sound great, and we worked hard. We practiced, I don't know, how much time did we have? We would practice maybe twice a week for maybe not even a month, but for for hours at a time. Actually, that gig was in February.
Yeah, that was right. Mm-hmm.
And then our first official paid gig was March. But I think we got together maybe a
handful of times, because luckily we had picked songs that we kind of already knew, but we just needed to kind of go over,
make it your own,
exactly.
Oh, perfect.
But no, I wasn't that nervous. Okay. I mean, it was just exciting to be able to play with her and to be able to try something new.
Yeah.
I will say I feel like we have gotten obviously better as we've gone along, just because you get into the groove, you get used to each other's sound, and you just get used to being in this type of an environment. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very intuitive. We're getting to the point now where I can read and she can read me, just know what's going to come up. Or if we get thrown for a loop, or if I forget something, or if she doesn't come in on time.
Oh, I remember from the band days that is a huge part of being able to perform live, because if you get stuck in a loop or you missed a
you got to keep
verse,
going.
You got to know how to get back on.
Yeah,
so.
we've had back on track.
We've had the power go out on us, and we just kept singing, and the power would come out, and we came back
on. That's amazing.
To a roaring applause. People loved it.
Oh,
you just have to keep going.
We're not quitting.
That's show business.
You're giving out on us.
And speaking of getting out of the loop, that's why I don't like doing loopers and stuff, because then you're hostage to a pre-programmed track or something.
If you can't get out of it. Yeah. I remember years ago in the band days where if the drummer and the bassist kind of carry it when you got a whole band, and if somebody switches too soon or too late. But a couple of gigs I remember in particular where I had to do these big ridiculous so everybody knew we're changing now. We're kind of stuck forever. So I imagine the challenging between just the two of you. You got to have that sort of connection to go, stay with me.
Right, exactly.
Keep up.
It is become intuitive, though, which is awesome.
That is great.
And nobody ever notices when you're good like that.
We notice, but we think everybody notices, but no one notices.
We don't, trust me.
And that's why when I mess up, I just give myself a little smile, and my wife knows it.
Yeah, no, his wife knows, because she'll look at me and go,
"What did you do? Is he throwing you off? What's going on here?"
Yeah, but I don't like to make big dramatic oh man.
Oh no.
Yeah, of course. You don't want anybody to know.
We got to keep our cool.
Because like you've learned, nobody knows in the audience except your wife.
If you mess it up, you just call it jazz.
Yeah, you just call it.
There you go.
That's great.
Oh, that is
like
great.
That is hilarious. So you guys said you're booked almost every weekend. What kind of places are you playing at? And my other question is, what's the biggest gig that you've done?
Biggest was probably St. Augustine
Night market.
Night market out on the patio outside of the St. Augustine Amphitheater.
Wow.
There were probably, I don't know, seemed to be like 200-300 people out there.
There were.
Wow, that's a nice sized crowd.
Epping Forest was pretty big too, though. There was
Epping.
There
There
was a lot of people. We did like a ribbon ceremony for the new marina at Epping Forest in Jacksonville last Friday. And there were, the old mayor was there from Jacksonville, so that was a pretty big one.
Oh, and that was quite recent then.
Yeah,
Wow.
That was last weekend. But we've the types of places are a little bit, pretty similar, especially Jacksonville being a water-based city. So we do a lot of places on the beach or on the river. Palms Fish Camp is on the river on the north side of Jacksonville. We've performed there pretty frequently.
We'll be there tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll be there tomorrow night. And then Hurricane Grill, which is a big chain, obviously, but we perform in a couple of those in Jacksonville. And then, like we said, Puccini's, which is basically Volano Beach area. But we've played really, and Jacksonville's huge, obviously.
Yeah.
So we've played from Middleburg area to the beach to the north side. Just
Down
Is
here.
it mainly Jacksonville?
Orlando.
Do you travel some?
We come to Orlando
Orlando's
every once in a while.
the farthest we've gone so far.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll just expand
We
and
feel
expand and expand. Yeah, so we actually have a private Christmas party that we've been booked for down here as well.
Tell them about the...
you guys are
Yeah. I was going to ask about
Booked up
private
consistent,
events
yeah.
as well.
We
like
love private
weddings
events.
or-
Yes, we
Yeah.
actually just performed, was it last weekend for the Jaguar Foundation?
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
that was a fundraiser event as well. And so that was at One Ocean Resort in Jacksonville Beach. So that was a fun little
Very cool.
gig that we did.
You guys are consistently playing. That's impressive.
Oh yeah, and then we do have a fundraiser here, and my mom actually runs this. It's called Heroes for Babies, and it's for the Advent Health for the Florida Hospital, and so she and her friend Susan Sherman run that fundraiser, and that'll be February 15th at the Harley Davidson in Sanford. Is that right
there may be one right off of I-4 in Sanford.
I think it's right. It's the one right off of I-4. So that's February 15th. We've been booked as the entertainment. It did help that we maybe knew the person that ran it.
Oh yeah, we'd love
whatever.
to reach out to them.
But it's a huge fundraiser,
win-win,
and
yeah.
she's
have
been
them on
running
the show
that for
to
a couple
kind
of
give
years.
some more awareness.
that'd be
to
great.
That'd be great.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
Here's
you'll
for
share
babies.
her info.
Yes,
after. All right,
definitely,
perfect.
So you guys were recently recognized in Folio Weekly magazine. Can you tell us how that happened and how it felt to be recognized there?
Yeah,
Especially
awesome.
being
You
such
go
a
ahead.
new group, right?
yeah. First of all, I hadn't really heard of all of that, and I started to look at all of the things that people would nominate. It was everything. I mean, best restaurant, best museum, best theater, things like that.
Right.
And so they have best original bands, best cover bands, and best female, male vocalists. And we were nominated as best cover band, and then we were also nominated as best female and male vocalists.
Yes.
Wow.
And so I didn't really know much, but we started to share it and told all of our friends and family to vote, and so both of us came in second place for best female and male vocalist.
Right.
And then in our cover band Atlantic Alibi got third place, so best of Jacksonville. So
That's amazing.
Very nice.
yeah.
For being so new, we thought
For
that
being
was
so
really
new,
cool.
that's a
no,
pretty
Just
cool
hitting the
deal.
scene,
I mean, that says something, doesn't
It
it? though?
shows you have a synergy, that you have, like, you're just meshing well together.
And we have dedicated followers and fans
That
wanna
helps a lot,
hop on,
obviously.
that want to hop on and vote for us.
That does
So,
help.
Of
That does
course.
help for sure. So for being so new, that was really, really a cool accomplishment for us.
But it just shows that they want to help you in your success, right? Because
Yeah.
they're willing to get on there every day.
right,
and
exactly.
cast their vote for
because
as
it was
long as they
an
can.
everyday voting.
You have to go on
process for
every
weeks.
day on those things and
Yep.
vote, right?
Yes.
That's
So-
a passionate fan base.
It really
regardless
is.
of that,
It really
you know.
is. So that was a really cool honor for us.
yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you see for the future of Atlantic Alibi?
Giant arenas.
Yeah.
I love it.
We've been told that
I'm injecting a crowd sound right here.
I don't know. It's just we really enjoy
originals.
what we're doing. Yeah, we
Originals,
want to do
for sure.
originals. We
Yeah.
we would love to get some additional opportunities just to showcase the fun that we have.
Yeah.
you know?
Sure.
And
Do you want to make a career out of this? That's
been my
choice?
Dream forever. Obviously, I would give up speech pathology to be a professional singer.
No, it's hard. Props to you because that's how I feel about the writing, and it's hard to say that. It's hard to say because for me, sometimes you're like, it's going to be silly for me to say that, but I think that's the first step towards making it happen.
It
is
is.
going,
You
that's
have
the
to
real
have
goal
that.
here.
And doing what you love. If you can do what you love and make money doing it,
right?
What else is there?
And I'm doing that
right?
currently, but obviously not enough to live my life
to pay the bills.
Yeah. I've still got to have the actual day job. But if I could make a full blown career out of this, I 100% would.
That's great.
And I'll work with her if she'll have
she'll
me.
have you.
Yeah.
I will
I
have
think
him.
she would probably have you.
I'd have him. I'd for sure.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to switch gears a bit because this is our month of thanks on the Fine and Danjee podcast.
Of course.
Thanksgiving is right around the corner. And we did want to ask you guys while we're talking to you and getting to know you, if you have any Thanksgiving traditions and also individually what it is you're most thankful for.
All right, I'll start.
They're all like, you put me on the spot.
Well, I'm thankful for obviously so much. Definitely thankful for this band and the opportunities we get to, because it's not just the fact of singing which I love to do, but I have seen just through the gigs that we've had, people come together. Even with my parents traveling up to Jacksonville, we've brought people together that they haven't seen in 20 plus years.
It's like a reunion.
10 plus years. And it is a small reunion. Family that I don't get to see often have an excuse to come together. And that has been the biggest thing I have been thankful for. I mean, Dan has gotten to reconnect with old friends that he doesn't normally get to see. And that alone has been, if that's all that comes out of this, that has been really, really cool for me to see and do. But as far as Thanksgiving traditions, yes, I'm a very traditional based person. I will be getting up, drinking mimosas, making monkey bread, and watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That's your thing.
That rocks. I love it. That rocks.
If that ever is not a thing,
mimosas.
I will be so sad. Yeah, usually we just do the boxed monkey bread. I will be making it from scratch this year.
Yum.
So I'm excited about that. But
That's
the
awesome.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and then a lot of my family live in South Florida, so they'll be coming up for Thanksgiving
great.
this week. So I'll be turning right back around, coming down here on Tuesday night, and then staying for Thanksgiving.
Very
So-
cool.
That is
I would echo that thankfulness and this opportunity. And I've got to call out Rick and Janet Paget. They were the ones that asked me to perform at Dining with Dignity and inspired this this whole project.
got it all, the ball rolling.
Yeah. And Katie's
Just takes
right.
one.
It's been an opportunity to bring people together. And it's just been a really exciting opportunity and very thankful for that because family, friends, as I told you, I played in a band down here and the old band showed up last time we were here at Wekiva, probably one of the days that y'all were here.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We met some of them
Mary
in the crowd.
told me the whole story,
Yeah.
and then I met
Probably
somebody
been
else.
how many years?
And so what a really neat opportunity. But so just thankful for this opportunity and I'm thankful for my wife Donna and
She's an angel.
she is such she's such a good supporter of me in this. She's been following me for 40 years now doing this.
She's your biggest fan.
She is the biggest,
best.
yeah.
She's the best because as many of these things as she comes to, she is genuinely excited every time we sing a song. She's in the
very
back
social.
singing along.
Yeah.
And she's
that's
so cute.
I think it's a party for her just to come out and hang with her friends. And
It
she's heard
is.
these songs every single
1,000 times.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
and
like,
that's,
you've got to be
She's
tired
like,
of these songs.
something new, please, but she probably doesn't.
and again, what Katie said, the people that come out to hear us, they've heard the same set. And we have to think of reasons, to
do
bring
new
them
songs.
out again. And it's
Yeah.
like, thank you, because that's one of the reasons, venues hire you is they want to see your following. They want to put seats. They want to sell some food and drinks.
Yeah.
And,
Sure.
and we need to make sure we bring, people into these venues.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm thankful for my parents who just are wonderful human beings that drive up there every single time pretty much.
That's
a
awesome.
lot of driving to see
Yeah.
me. So
They're
they've
just proud you're
supported
doing
me.
something that you love.
Yeah,
doing.
and they have supported me from moment one. So and they love it and they have so much fun. But yeah, I'm thankful to God that this has been such.
Absolutely.
That you
That's
have-
the biggest.
And you have this gift, right?
Yeah.
You were given.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I think the running theme I get from that with your parents and your wife and the fans in general is having that support system to really get behind you to to do what you love, that's everything.
It really is everything because, that already helps so much boost you up with confidence and just energy. And,
yes.
And my mom, we call her the momager. So she basically runs all of our social media accounts.
I get it now.
The momager. Yeah. So she's great, but she has so many friends. It's like unbelievable. Yeah. So I've always said my mom has way more friends than I'd ever hope to have. And she brings everybody out and she's constantly sharing things and it's awesome. So
that's like our friend Mindy. Like our friend Mindy knows everybody. I'm like, how do you know this part? Like you call her and there's 50 people that show up.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents have only lived here for 4 years. And my mom already has an absurd amount of friends and following in this group.
And that whole connection with Mary.
Because, it's so
that's
crazy.
how she found, you knew Mary.
I knew Mary.
But my mom is the one who met Mary on her own accord.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then somehow it's just everybody
and
knew everybody.
my wife was looking at her Facebook and said, how does she know Mary Weinig?
Right.
Yeah, what is that? That's like the 8 degrees of Facebook.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So it's been just really cool.
Okay, real quick, I want to share my tradition.
Please.
My dad used to do a Thanksgiving turkey on one of those old Farberware rotisseries. And I don't know if you remember this. I mean, I think the one that I inherited from him is from like the 1960s.
Like the ones that go on top of a grill?
No, it sits on top of a countertop.
Yeah. Oh, it's just like an oven kind of.
Yeah. And so we'd wake up smelling that turkey. I mean, he'd started at like 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And so I have it now. And I actually got an extra motor. I found a motor on eBay just in case the one that we have burns out. But I love doing that.
Is this the first year you're doing that?
No. I love it.
That's your tradition.
That is my thing.
Do you wake up at 5 in the morning?
Yeah, and sometimes
you do?
I don't even wait for Thanksgiving. We'll do it once a month. We'll put something on there.
Yeah.
I'll do a turkey for my mother-in-law. She loves that on there. Or
That's so cool.
Just a turkey breast.
Yeah.
But and I'm also a big green egg fan. So I love
Oh, were you at the event here last week?
No, I didn't know it was here.
We were here. We happened to come by the night before, but I hear those things are very
It's
impressive.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
So
do you know what that is?
I don't know about the green eggs and ham.
That's what I could. No, big green egg. The thing that I grill
like
on.
a grill.
It's a grill.
the green egg.
Yeah, the big green egg. Yeah.
Yeah, you can make
You have one.
She's like, what? Green eggs and ham? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Like, are you eating a green egg? I'm confused.
Yeah.
No, you should say the big green egg. You have to say
s'mores.
the big green egg. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
you
can
said
make
the green egg.
You can make cake.
You can make
pizza.
anything in that thing.
They do that once a year here, this huge event where they have a contest. And you can come, you pay, a certain ticket price, and you get to come and sample all
everything.
the different
that must be
foods
delicious.
And
from
you get put in a
breakfast to
drawing.
dinner time.
You put in a drawing to win one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And the proceeds go towards Mary's organization, Keep Seminole County Beautiful.
Oh,
Nice.
and if they need entertainment, you know where to find them.
That's
you know,
right.
Atlantic Alibi.
That's right. So, guys,
one more thing I wanted to mention real quick about that, doing that rotisserie thing that you do. If you do it that often, it must be kind of a cathartic thing for you, even though you're doing it at 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever.
Oh, it's awesome. It brings back great memories.
I bet.
those smells trigger the memories, and just the process.
And I just like the old-fashioned hardware. They don't make cooking equipment like
plastic
this.
and everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's really heavy duty. It tastes amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. And plus, you have to come check on it. So you're doting over it, right?
Sure.
So got to get that
Extra
baster
love,
and
TLC.
Check on it, maybe picking at it once it's almost done, that kind of thing.
But it is. That's a good point. Very cathartic.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I think the tradition should be for the most part.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It should be relaxing, definitely.
Indeed.
So it's all fine in Danjee. We like to support nonprofit organizations and get involved in the community and just draw more attention to different causes that anybody's interested in, really. So we wanted to ask if there's any specific charities or events that you guys like to help support financially, volunteer-wise, or just get their name out there so that people can maybe have the opportunity to go and check it out and see if it's something they would want to support.
Well, like we said, our first gig was with Dining with Dignity, and that supports the homeless in St. Augustine. So they feed the homeless every single night. All local churches get together and they create a huge spread of
That's
food.
awesome.
That's impressive. Every single night is
Every single night, and
impressive.
they bring a lot of people, and
Yeah.
and they try to get entertainment just so it's kind of a nice evening. Yeah, and I'm part of Rotoract, which is the subcategory of the Rotary, and that's in Jacksonville, Florida. So they support many different local organizations. But their overall motto is service above self, and it's to eradicate polio, which obviously is not so much an issue, a glaring issue here as it is maybe in other third world countries like Africa and things like that. But we do support local charities and organizations all throughout Jacksonville. PACE, which is I think that's for young girls and mothers. So that's been an organization we've done. I know that they put on a different fundraiser, and I got to check to see which one it is for this December. They do a event at the Alhambra Dinner Theater in Jacksonville, and it's Elf the Musical this year. And I know it's really cute. We did that last year, and it was so popular they brought it back again this year. But they do a charity event every single time to benefit that. So they've got like silent auctions and things like that.
Perfect.
And the ticket sales go towards that. So I've got to look up.
Share the information with us, and we'll post it too. So
or I'll dig it up and put a link in the show notes to all this stuff.
Yeah. So my wife and I are members of the South Ponte Vedra Beach Turtle and Marine Patrol.
That's a long one.
So it's a really cool thing.
That is cool, though.
So we have been trained officially by the state and the Fish and Wildlife Commission to patrol our stretch of the beach during sea turtle nesting season. Awesome. And so we were part of the team to go out there. We had our assigned days. We'd go out on Monday mornings, and sometimes we'd go out with our team, and we'd patrol the beach. And if we see the tracks of the mother turtle coming up, identify the nest.
I was going to remember. I wondered on vacation. I asked Angie, how do they even? Where you have like the stakes in the
stakes,
tank?
Yeah. Wow. So we would stake them. They do like to get one sample of an egg. Usually, a nest would have anywhere from 50 to 125 eggs. They're about the size of they look like a oversized ping pong ball.
Right.
And we would get one that we have to send back into the state because
so they
DNA mark it, and then they can identify how many times the mother turtle comes up.
That's amazing.
And lays on the and they come back to the same area.
I know, and that's always just amazed me too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So from an ecology standpoint, and from a nature standpoint, that's kind of a neat passion for us as well.
Yeah.
But now, tell me what the name of that beach is again.
It's South Ponte Vedra Beach.
I know I
Turtle
didn't
and
get
Marine
the
Patrol
spelling right, but I'll find it. And we'll put a link in the show notes. So if you're listening now on your device, you can scroll down to a link.
I just found the organization we're benefiting this year is Christmas. It's called Beam. Cool. So it's basically a community-based organization that serves low-income residents in the beach area. Providing them food or just any kind of assistance like rent. Giving them just money for their rent every month. So BEAM.
Awesome. We will definitely put that on there.
We will.
We work with a local organization like that does great things like that. Yeah, so
we'll be out tomorrow actually with them with Bags of Hope.
For the big Thanksgiving feast.
Awesome.
So as I mentioned, I'll put all the links in the show notes, but just to talk to our audience for a minute, how can people find you?
Well, that is a great question. We actually have 4 different modes, at least for the websites
that the momager
online
has put together.
Yeah, we defer that all to
We have a Facebook page, so that's just our name, Atlantic Alibi. We have Instagram, which is Atlantic Alibi.
Right.
YouTube, Atlantic Alibi. We would love to get more YouTube subscribers because that's really, really where people see
your talent,
see the music, and that's where a lot of people get picked up and things like that. So YouTube is a big, big, big thing.
Absolutely.
And then we have a website. It's just
Alibi.
It's just atlanticalibi.com. So there'll be, so that's up and running. That's our most recent.
And we were fortunate in doing a search for name creation of our little project.
I was going to ask. We didn't ask that. How did you get that name?
It
took forever.
It did. It took months. They're like, what are we going to call ourselves? We've got to put ourselves out there. And my wife and I had gone to California, and this is the story I tell. I don't know, but it's everything's Pacific this, Pacific that, Pacific Sun, and I always said, when you think of Atlantic, I think of shipping industry and marine stuff, and everything. And I'm like, wow, we're on the Atlantic, and we're your nice little getaway. We could be your alibi. And
we like alliteration. So
we like the alliteration, Atlantic Alibi. And when I did a search on it, nothing came up. there, of course, Alibi or, something would come
Atlantic
up.
something.
And so we could easily pick our website name. We could, do
plus
it.
It's a great band name, too.
Yeah. We've got
it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Our Gmail account, is it Atlantic.alibi? No, it's atlanticalibi@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's great what you said, that nobody else had it.
No.
So you're the only ones.
No.
So when you search our name, Danjee is like a type of food.
It's like a restaurant in Korea or something.
No, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What in the heck?
Yeah,
Seriously?
It's the only other thing that comes up when you look for Danjee.
So obviously you can't mistake the two. I mean,
No. Yeah.
That's
podcast,
great.
food in Korea.
Yeah, I think it's very different.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So before we wrap, I want to ask you guys, what are the chances of getting you to play a song for us right now on the podcast?
High probability.
Yeah,
We'd
we'd
love
love
it.
to. We'd love
Yes,
to.
definitely.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to switch around things here for a minute, and we're going to hear a live song. What song are we going to hear?
We'll do Landslide by Stevie Nicks.
Awesome.
Everybody knows that one.
Everyone knows it.
Wonderful.
It's a classic.
Yes.
So
All right. Love it.
All right, so
Yeah,
hang tight.
okay.
We're going to play this song, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, this is Dan back in the studio. And for copyright reasons, we couldn't play the song that they recorded for us live on the podcast, but we did record it, and we did put it on YouTube. And Angie was actually doing a video recording. So I spliced the audio into the video, and you can check it out right now if you scroll down on your device and check out the first link on the show notes. So go check that out, then come back here, and we will wrap up this part of the community call out and roll into the end of the show with the information station. Well, Dan, Katie, it's been so nice hanging out with you guys for a few
this has
minutes
been
and
so
talking
fun.
about things. And thank you for sitting and talking.
Thanks
to
so
us.
much for
Hopefully,
having
you're able
us.
to
Yeah.
kind of relax a little bit before
yeah,
the show.
this has been
and,
awesome.
You know,
We can officially
didn't
say
lose
we've
your
done
voice.
our first podcast.
I know.
My
This
voice
is exciting.
so
Thank you guys so much.
Put this on
Thank
our
you.
resumes.
That's
Yes.
right.
Thank
Yes.
you. All right. So, guys,
That's
that
it.
wraps for the community call out. Hang tight, and we'll be right back with the information station.
You thought I was going to say it,
I thought
didn't
you were
you?
going to do it like you do with the train noise.
Choo choo.
Hi, this is Steve Altier, author of the Lizardville Ghost Story series, and you're listening to It's All Fine in Danjee.
Hey guys, welcome back to the information station, and we hope you guys enjoyed that interview as much as we did. We're sorry that we couldn't stay to listen to them play that night, but we had previous plans, so we will catch them next time when they're in town.
They were so good, though. We've
Yeah.
seen them before. And as I said during the clip there, that live song they played for us, which was so good, please go out
So
to the
good.
YouTube video and check it out.
Yeah, that was, oh my gosh, they're very talented.
Indeed,
very
they
talented.
are. Yeah.
And I think you posted something saying that they're going to be back on Valentine's Day.
They are. I saw that online today.
What a great date night.
That would be a great date night.
Yes, enjoy some good music, a nice variety that they play. So, and, just enjoy your night at Wekiva Island.
Yep. Agree.
So I wanted to just take the information station and not really be, oh, here's a bunch of information. No. I wanted to talk about, since it is Thanksgiving Day, I wanted to talk about what we're thankful for.
Right.
And I also wanted, just talk about Thanksgiving, like our favorites and stuff like that. I thought
Sure.
that'd be kind of fun,
That is fun.
right? So first of all, I wanted to say that there's so many things I'm thankful for. I mean, I could just list it, but I really, since It's All Fine in Danjee is really tries to focus on community, is what we kind of started this for, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to show my thanks for those organizations that are making a difference in our community. Whether they're small organizations or large organizations, people are taking their time to help others.
Right.
And, we always think about it during this time of year. I think it's naturally just kind of occurs in people that you start thinking about giving during the holiday season.
Yep. As Rhonda told us from Bags of Hope, this is where the sort of season of giving starts, and it goes through December, a little bit into January, and then it's gone all year.
Yeah. So, but these people are giving of themselves the whole year.
Right.
Like they are, giving things up for themselves in order to give to others.
Yeah.
So keep those people in mind. Any of those organizations that you hear about or know about, keep giving to them throughout the year.
Yeah.
But because they are just, I mean, they are just doers, right? They are just doing for people all year long.
And I would say as we're heading into the end of the year, and, we started the podcast this year, that's one of the things I think, aside from some of the great benefits of doing the show, our intention has always sort of been highly focused on helping people, especially those that are in need, but also local businesses and people that are just trying to succeed. We love to see people succeed. And, but the charities and the people, the organizations that are helping people, that are taking their time, their effort, their money, that to me has been the most fulfilling thing about this entire podcast adventure so far.
It really is to me too. And as I said earlier, I had done a Bags of Hope event on Sunday.
Yep.
And the previous week, I had done some organization for some people.
Right.
And Kim and Martin.
Yep.
Thank you to them. And we did some organization of their garage, and they donated a ton of items that I knew could be put to good use.
Right.
And I went to that event, and I will say, after I leave one of those events, I just have this sense of like a peace almost.
Sure.
That I spent my day, I feel like I spent my day doing something great.
Right.
I mean, it is something great, but it's a feeling that kind of comes over you that my day was productive. Like it was productive, and it was a wonderful event. And I want to just kind of say this for going into the new year.
Yep. I
would like to see people set a New Year's resolution a little different than normal. Normally, it's a lot of times it revolves around health and wellness and finances or things like these, right? Less stress. I want to say, find an organization that you really believe in and believe what they're doing, and start volunteering regularly.
Yeah.
Or commit to donating $10 a month if you can,
sure.
or whatever it is, or donating food, whatever it is, even if it's just your time.
Yep.
Find an organization that you truly believe in and be there for them throughout the whole year.
Right.
That is a great New Year's resolution.
It is. And I will say it is the one thing that you sort of get from these organizations or from contributing, not just your money, but I think more your time. They could certainly use your money. But when you actually donate your time, the feeling I get is, we all do a lot of things. And well, most of us do. And sometimes, for me at least, and I'm assuming that everyone's kind of like this, you wonder of the value of some of the things that you're doing. All the effort I put into this, was that a waste of time? It's one of those things that feel like the most important thing that you do. When you're done, you're like, you know what? That was more important than anything else I've done this week. Yeah. Of all the things I've done.
That's how I felt.
Right.
That's how I feel. And the other thing is, we want to help us personally. We want to help all the organizations, right? We're like,
of course,
that's kind of, we're trying to be the middleman of finding these organizations that are helping in the community and getting the word out about them, so that maybe they'll pick up a big sponsor,
right?
Or they'll get more people kind of donating and helping,
right?
So we're trying to be that kind of go-between for that, but we also want to get out there and help as much as we can. So I think I'm very thankful for those people that are doing this year round. And I think we all should set a resolution to kind of do that ourselves. You will feel good about it. I promise.
Indeed.
So what are your favorite things about Thanksgiving, Daniel?
I think aside from the fact that people really start focusing on gratitude, which this is where I'm not a metaphysical kind of person. I as much as I'd love to be, I've always struggled with the being that way. I think I'm a little too grounded in science sometimes.
You're wired that way, yeah.
Right. But I do believe that your philosophy and mentality about what you think is going to happen as far as success, it plays a big role on whether or not you're successful. I think this sort of gratitude that everyone gets in is beneficial, not just to helping other people, but it's also beneficial to you, because I feel like if you live in gratitude and you are constantly thankful in your own head, even for everything you have, your car, your family, your health, your life, your job, I feel like whether it's coincidence or some mystical thing, the reality has a way of sort of getting in order to make it all work even better for you. So my favorite thing is that people seem to generally slow down and say thank you for what they have, which I feel like most people don't do. I feel like I constantly am doing that in my own head. Like, I really appreciate this, but we also complain.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that too.
It's the nature of humans.
It really is. So my favorite thing is that. But if we're going to talk about just sort of the fun stuff for a minute, my favorite foods.
Okay.
Well, first let me hear what your favorite thing is, and then we'll get into the foods.
So that's funny because I remember when I was younger, when I got a little older, I like changing it up, actually. I like not the very traditional things. I like doing stuff different. So like our family will do, let's do a Mexican style dinner for Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
Well, remember, we've done that. Or we're doing all hors d'oeuvres.
We haven't done that here.
Not at our house, but we've done it at my mom's house. I think mainly
we did
for
hors d'oeuvres.
Christmas,
We did do hors d'oeuvres or appetizers.
But probably my favorite is somebody that can make a really good sweet potato casserole. And I will say the best one I've ever had was from my ex-grandmother-in-law. And she made the best sweet potato casserole. I cannot even describe it to you. It wasn't like super overly sweet, and she had like coconut and pecans in there.
This one's hard for me because I don't like sweet potatoes.
Grandma Terry, and oh my gosh, I've got to get that. I think I have the recipe, and it was just so.
Oh, you're gonna put me on the hook. Well, that's.
I'm gonna make you taste it. Taste
all right.
test
Give me a couple others. Give me a couple others I can relate to.
So I like green bean casserole, but I don't like it in the traditional way.
Right.
I like it with like homemade mushrooms and a homemade mushroom gravy.
Oh, see, that I can relate to because I like it anyway.
Yeah. And then this year, I'm actually, because I just said earlier, I've been in the kitchen kind of cooking up some new things.
Yep.
And, I really got inspired by Sheila because I felt like, me and her are kind of on the same page when it comes to the kitchen stuff.
Right.
I'm trying.
Getting experimental.
Yeah, getting experimental and just kind of getting in there and seeing what tastes good.
I don't know, but I'm having Thanksgiving on Thursday, Friday night, and Saturday.
But it's all three going to be different.
Still, it's
Thursday
amazing.
Thursday will be traditional.
Yep.
And then Friday is going to be whatever I do, experimental, let's
right.
say. And then Saturday is going to be a barbecue.
I love it.
So, and on Friday, I'm making like a sweet and sour or a sweet and spicy jalapeno popper. And I'm going to do those deviled eggs that you really liked.
Love it. Like the Mexican hot sauce deviled eggs.
Avocado stuffed deviled eggs.
Very nice.
I call them Diablo's eggs.
Love it.
That's my name for them.
Very nice.
So, but I love I don't like traditional. I like to mix it up every year, I think.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of traditional. It's hard for me to say that for some reason, but I'm kind of that way because one of my favorites is green bean casserole. Whether it's made with the canned mushrooms or fresh, I just like it. And I read recently that it's one of the least appreciated or
because
least
there's green in it. What is it?
At least liked sides. It was some silly social media thing that came out, which surprised me because I love it. But my mom makes the best broccoli cheese casserole. And I would love to tell you that it makes you eat some healthy food like broccoli, but I think it has 14 sticks of butter in it or something crazy. It is so good. It's made with like a pie crust.
Anything that has butter tastes good.
Oh, it's amazing. And it does taste like broccoli and cheese too, but that's probably my all-time favorite Thanksgiving sort of memory for food. Mm-hmm. I also like, as far as desserts, pumpkin pie.
I have to make you a homemade pumpkin pie.
I love pumpkin pie. In fact, my mom used to give me 2 pumpkin pies, one for me to share with the kids and one for me to just eat. Very gluttonous, but
I
can't
guess
do that
I should
anymore.
Text her and say, hey, yeah, you might have a run for your money because I'm going to make pumpkin pie this year.
I love it. But my favorite pie is cherry pie with vanilla ice cream on it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I know it's all very gluttonous this time of year, but those are some of my favorite foods.
Yeah. But I wanted to just also remind everybody to think of somebody else during this time of the year.
Indeed.
And, give to your local food drives and stuff like that so that other people are able to enjoy those kind of traditions together.
The same way that we do. And
even though they're struggling and can't afford the food.
And I would also encourage you to consider when you're doing it this time of year, which you're going to do if for the most part, for most people. As you're doing the clothing drive or the toy drive or the food drive, consider that the people that you're donating to, as much as they appreciate it, they are in really, really dire straits for the rest of the year. So, as good as you feel for helping and it's great, consider doing it at other times throughout the year too. Because they need it the least this time of year because everyone's doing it. They need it the most throughout the whole rest of the year.
Yeah. Give up 2 cups of Starbucks coffee a week and donate to a local organization.
Right.
That's $10 or more right there.
Yeah. $10 a week would be amazing.
Yeah. So before we go, guys, I just wanted to let everybody know that we have a special event coming up this weekend. Not us, but what Wekiva Island does. Santa's coming to town. So for all of you with kiddies, Santa arrives to kick off Winter Wonderland this weekend. That's Friday, November 29th. 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Santa and Mrs. Claus will arrive at 6 p.m. They'll have snow flurries there. They actually have the real snow slide. That's what we're doing this weekend. We are going there.
I'm in.
And then they are also having those Black Friday deals. So they have some really cute merchandise in the Tooting Otter.
There's like a whole shop in there.
Area. And they have some great ornaments and just really great gift ideas.
Decorative stuff for your house, clothes, hats, sunglasses, you name it.
That's right. So here's some of the cool deals that they're doing. A free $10 gift card with every $50 in Wekiva Island gift cards purchased. 25% off all purchases over $100 or more.
Nice.
That's a good discount right there.
It really
25%. 10% off of all purchases. A $10 gift card with any bottle of wine purchased. The bottle must be $40 or more. They have great wine too.
Oh, they so do.
And you can also earn a chance to win a Costa duffel bag full of goodies with every $50 purchase. So shop local. We love to support that too.
Yep.
Shop local. Go check out the sales they have going on there and see Santa. Bring the kids. It'll be a fun time.
And how long does that run? It's not just this weekend. Do you know how long that runs for?
So all the way through December 30th, they're going to have snow flurries. I can't say that word. And they'll be doing some other events there as well. On Saturday, they'll be having stilt walkers. They're playing an outdoor movie, Polar Express.
I love it.
I mean, this is a family event, guys. Yep. And the adults can sit around and have some fun, too, which is nice. And that's it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So we want to remind you that if you enjoyed the show, please give us a rating and a review. If you love the show, please subscribe. But the ratings and the reviews really, really help us. If you have an idea for the show or you'd like to be a guest on the show or you know someone who would, give us a call at 407-519-0515 or email us at feedback@fineanddanjee.com. That's FINEANDDANJEE.com. You can find out more about us at fineanddanjee.com. And otherwise, we want to remind you here on Turkey Day where you're kicking back on the couch and you're telling yourself that you're tired from eating turkey, but it's really from all that wine.
Like us?
Like us. At the end of the day,
it's all fine and dandy.
I've already poured more. Can I tell you what the trick is to drinking wine? Keep pouring a little bit as you drink it, and then you feel like you only drank one glass. That's okay.
Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that interview as much as we did. And that nice little...
That was like the Sam Jackson drinking your big kahuna Coke.